Good morning. Welcome to calendar week 7, Antediluvian Mark II. After I sang the praises of the second half of winter last week, the gods of the sun and the air ganged up to remind the humans who was still in charge. It was a horrible week for the cold. Temperatures were not all that drastic, but when they don't rise above freezing for days and nights on end, then it gets inside you in a particularly unpleasant way. And I'm getting a little edgy about the amount of firewood I have left. It'll be fine for sure, and I can repurpose some of the logs I intended for building things with into firewood. It was graded as firewood in the first place, so it's not like I would be sending up in smoke any of the good stuff. In fact, it is precisely because it is graded as firewood that it takes so much work to prepare it for building. But in excellent news, and right on schedule, I've finished preparing the last major frame piece of the tomato house. This week I'll be cutting them all square and to the correct length and creating all the mortices and tenons. I say all. Let's not get too excitable, but as far as intentions go, it's always okay to set ambitious ones, as long as we know from the outset that it is ambitious, and not to be disappointed if we don't get there. I still need to make all the corner bracing pieces as well. That should be for next week. And I need to come up with a solid plan for the roof, or at least that would be a good idea. I might just wing it. Winging it means making each piece as it is needed, but it also means making them not all the same. The house part of the tomato house is a box, a higgledy-piggledy roof fertilised of Anthony Gaudi, Friedrichsreich Hundertwasser, and a crazy pirate who isn't entirely sure what he's doing. Might be a more interesting way to top it off. Other things to do this week. I really want to get out of the fab for a bit and do something grubbier, but it seems that all the important projects at the moment are more or less woodworking. I haven't checked, but I think that I said last week I might try starting some seeds. I didn't do that, see weather gods. I'm not going to tempt fate by saying that I will try again this week. A wink is as good as a nudge to a blind horse, what? I'd very much like to move the compost heaps. This is less sunshine dependent as precipitation. I will not do it in snow or rain. So another one for the let's see pile. And I would very much like to bottle the sauerkraut, but I put my nose in it last night and it flippin' reeks. I've never made sauerkraut before, so maybe it's supposed to smell like that. I guess I'll have to get brave and taste it. There are still a few cabbages left in the garden though. I'm not relying on it being delicious to sustain life for another few months. This is definitely one of those weeks that I've had to be a bit glad that I don't do commentary on the news, or anything much related to current affairs, except to say that many of the problems of the world have always been much the same. Historically, there's nothing unusual about powerful leaders making awful decisions, dogma in the absence of compassion, greed, narcissism, and the distrust of people not quite the same as us. The new, extra awful specifics of these decades seem especially existential, and the death throes of capitalism will for sure take us all down with it. But this week, it all seems to have been varnished with the bright, shiny gloss of cruelty. This makes me sad. We can do something about it. We can be real. We can get together and we can talk. Not to find solutions, but to find humanity. To share in the wonder of being alive. Me, I'm going to take care to read things written by humans, to listen to music and poetry. I'm going to work on my own writing, and I'm not going to apologise for aspiring for this to be thought of as literature. Maybe one day the Book of the Barracks will be the answer for some people to the question, have you read anything good lately? Maybe. Until then, and that might be some time, I know, please do be as passionately human as you can. Take care of each other, and step lightly with love. Your loving pirate Ben. XO. XO.